packaged, distributed, handed out to patients end up being wasted. They're not taken at the right time, for the right reasons, at the right place, or they're literally poured down the toilet. And I am ashamed to tell you that here in Scotland, the home of some of the world's cleanest, purest water and the home of whiskey, there are 61 pharmaceuticals which can be detected in our waterways. And a big thank you to the One Health Breakthrough Partnership and the work of Sean Flager in detecting that and pushing that forward as a really important agenda. But how can AI tackle this? Well, we are talking medicines because we should be talking more about medicines. We should be communicating, and importantly, we should be listening. There is a disconnect here, a massive disconnect here. It costs $2 billion roughly to bring a new medicine to market. And this is what we do. Massive societal impact, massive personal impact, and massive impact on the environment. So, traditional strategies about communicating to understand where the problem lies, to understand what patients' thoughts and feelings, how doctors are communicating about medicines in the increasingly short time that they have during a consultation period, relies largely on focus groups. These are beset with problems. For one, it takes a long time to set them up, 3 to 6 months after the problem has occurred. They have to go through curation processes, they have to go through cleaning process to make sure that the people are representative of the medicine that you wish to ask questions about. So they're not real world people who have multiple conditions. If you're over 55, I am getting there, it is likely you'll be suffering from 3 long-term chronic conditions on at least 3 or 4 different medications for them. It's not real, it's not natural. So we are on a mission to use the power of AI to improve patient understanding, to align patients and doctors who have very, very different voices, and to bring the voice of key opinion leaders and digital opinion leaders together, and to optimize medicine's communications and marketing by unlocking the extraordinary power of conversational data. But you know what? It's not easy. Conversational data is rich data. By rich data, I mean that it's convoluted, it's unstructured, it's nuanced, it's contradictory, it's confused, there are double negatives, context is important, there's competition for voice. One of the biggest influencers in health voices in the United States today is Lady Gaga, who's on a mission to improve people's understanding around about migraine right now. So how do you take all of that and turn this method? And I'd love this to be in different colours, and it goes into different colours here. We'll just change that slide. How do you start to structure this data? How do you start to make sense of it? How do you make things replicable? How do you start to measure the voice out there? And it is a huge voice. Either apocryphally or truthfully, approximately 1/3 of data that is online is about health. It's a huge, huge problem. So, to tackle this type of problem, you need the full glorious title. You need to have curated data, data which is specific to health and to medicines. You need to have optimized large language models, algorithms which understand and are trained to pull that data out. And you need Drug-GPT. You need to be able to use conversational data to interrogate this, to bring out the depth of the data. And if you package that together, we call this patient metrics. So, what is patient metrics? Patient metrics is powered right at the center by Drug-GPT. Simply put, it enables us to take virtually any source of conversational health data from patients, from doctors, from key opinion leaders. It might be market data, it might be transcript data, it might be conference data, such as the data that we have today. We are able to bring that into our models safely and securely, only using ethical sources. I will happily discuss ethics with you, any questions on that later on. And we apply our tailored large language models to that data. We apply transformational models, we apply deep learning and our artificial intelligence to surface that data out in a way which is easy to digest and which is replicable. What does all that mean? Well, it gives us for the first time a 360-degree holistic view of the patient's journey, their beliefs, their behaviours, who's influencing their conversations, and it allows us to drive key important things in medicine: efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity. We're able to harness all those powers and deliver actual intelligence for the first time through conversational data. It's transforming the way that we harness the conversation voice. But don't take my word for it, take our clients. You always have to have a beautiful photograph presentation. This is a photograph from our offices in New Jersey. Our key beachhead market are marketing and communications agencies of note. There are hundreds of agencies of note in New York, and we are currently engaged with around about 80 to 90%. For them, it's about efficiency. They don't have to have their data scientists trawling through endless amounts of online posts, searching, pouring through transcripts, eliminating dodgy data, and there is an awful lot of dodgy data out there, as anybody who's ever used it will know. We're offering a huge increase in effectiveness to them. The quality control, the human element, which again I will touch on later, the replicability, to be able to compare what happened 6 months ago to what's happened now, how has voice changed, standardization for the first time, being able to measure the output of human voice, and key, getting to gold nuggets of insights that ordinary patients, people like you and I on the street have about how our medicines affect our health and our lives. This massively improves productivity. We were challenged to a side-by-side test by one of the largest agencies in the world, agency who turns over billions of dollars and whose heart is all about communicating with patients. We demonstrated that patient metrics could produce, in my opinion, better, but more accurate and more detailed reports than the agency of note were able to produce with their own team of data scientists by an order of 80%. We were astonished at that, and that included our quality control efforts as well. So this is the view from our offices in New Jersey. It's delightful to be there. I'm hoping to get over there again later on myself. It's the home of our beachhead customers, and it's where we hone our product market fit by getting really close to them. But like the skyscrapers, on the other side is a beautiful view of the Statue of Liberty. Maybe we should use that one. It's important for our customers to understand our foundations that build our strong AI. So, in talking medicines, we don't just talk about AI, we talk about AI plus. And by AI plus, we're talking about the human element. Never forget that we're working in health, in medicines, personal information, and deeply personal conditions. Our human touch means that we apply our deep understanding. We were formed 10 years ago in April 2013. We've been in the medical health space ever since that, never diverting from it. Our AI plus means we talk about ethics and transparency, and it has to be the core of what we do, and what we do has to come from that place of truth. Our AI plus is very much about our people and how they interact and generate the models that we rely upon. At the heart of that are large language models and our natural language process training, specifically and tirelessly trained by dedicated people, currently 14, sometimes up to 20 annotators. They're undergraduates who are trained, are quality managers, to constantly go back to the data and train to recognize the voice of a patient, the voice of a doctor, the context, the sensitivity, and bring that data in. I hate to think how many millions of posts that they have processed over the last 2.5 to 3 years. Our transformer models are optimized for the world of health. What does that mean? It means there is no AI hallucinating here. There is no making up answers. There is no pulling rubbish data. It is the marriage of the best curated data and the best possible models to get the best possible results. And that speaks to our values, and values and governance is exceptionally important. Only this week, Joe Biden from the White House announced executive measures to protect the American people from AI. We're very aware of that. And in the next couple of days, Prime Minister Sunak is hosting an AI security summit at Bletchley Park, attended by Elon Musk. I understand that's why Elon isn't here today. But it is vital that we agree at a national, international level what the core values in AI should be, that we get it right this time, unlike how we got social data wrong, how we got perhaps the internet wrong. So let me share some of our values. These core values, across talking medicines, are transparency, innovation, quality, and community. We don't just talk about them, we live and breathe them. If you'll pardon the pun, they are in our DNA. This is where the company started. We wanted to be able to improve medicine's outcomes for patients. That has to be built up into a way which is meaningful to the company. By scalable, I mean that the importance of one person's data and privacy and security is as important to us as that of 1 million people. It has to be meaningful. We don't have ethics for the sake of having ethics, with ethics making sure we do things the right way. We want to engender trust and be sure that we're being fair. So we engage with patient advocates, we engage with patients, we engage with agencies of health. We're open about how we're applying all of our technology, and we want to learn more. We want to engage and to understand. Accountability is super important, so we have oversight in key areas. Data privacy and security subcommittee and a data equality subcommittee as well, which meets. We're open to that. We report back on these 4 qualities every month at a level. Training and process, bringing forward, nurturing young people, having standard operating procedures for everything, minuting that, learning from it, going back, iterating how to develop the process, let alone develop the actual tools themselves. So it's a really robust and strong approach. I think it's one that we centre ourselves in really well, and it enables us to create impact. But an impact of a company goes beyond that. As I mentioned at the start, ESG, environment, social governance, is important to us as a company. We don't just want to do the right thing, we want to do the right thing in the right way. It's increasingly important to all the members of our team. Many members have joined us Talking Medicines because of their passion about the impact of doing the right thing for medicines and the environment. It's important to our stakeholders, the investor community, and without exaggeration, it's important to the planet. And for that, as with everything, we have a great deal of help. Companies like Social Investment Scotland Ventures, we were their first investing company a few years ago. Ernest Paul, Crowley Law LLC have helped us navigate the waters of the Hudson over in New York. We take part in communities such as Pickering community in Scotland, the Big Picture, trying to give back to the communities that we work with, and particularly proud of working with Greenlay, who I would encourage you to have a look at. They're a French-based company who enable you to measure your environmental impact simply by looking at your historical accounting data. Well worth checking out. But great to have these people around about us and helping us move forward. So put all of that together, put the ethics, the data, the training, the NLP, the long language models, years of research and building that out. And what do you have? Well, if you do things from the heart, if you do things in the right place, which for us is Glasgow, and if you do it for the right people, who for us are here in Scotland, you get truly global innovation. In our case, you get Drug-GPT, the world's first generative pre-trained transformer model built specifically for health. But I know you want to get to what does it actually do, so I'm going to give you a quick peek under the hood. Take all that data from all those different sources, the nurses, the doctors, the patients, the opinion leaders, put it all together, apply Drug-GPT across it, and you can ask in natural language questions to different data types. So for example, why do patients prefer to take an injectable form of an insulin to metformin, which is a tablet? You can ask that in the patient group and you will get an answer. You can ask that in the doctor group, you will get an answer. You can ask it to compare what are the differences in opinion between doctors and healthcare professionals about this new treatment or procedure, and you will get the answer. If you have the data, we can process it and we can bring it up to that easy to access, easy to understand level. We have a ton of data science behind that as well. These graphs and charts are hard to content. But for me, the transformational piece really about this ability to be able to handle massive amounts of data in a natural language way. You can compare responses, so what's happened in the environment, what has changed people's messaging or understanding about your brand or product. When I talk about brand or product, I'm talking about the individual medicine box. I'm not talking about Pfizer, I'm talking about their specific antibiotic that you might be taking. You can compare answers across the different cohorts and get a real insight into what is happening in near real time. I talked earlier about the patient focus groups, which could take months, perhaps 6 months. If you have the data, we can have answers for you created through our QC process in less than 3 days. It really is transformational. What's more, you can track behaviour of authors, and I do mean at a group level, people who don't mean individual level. One thing we would never do as a company from any of our data is give away patient-sensitive information. You can't track the patient from our data. I mean, at group level, patients track their behaviours and track their beliefs. So if you're launching new medicine at a conference, What is the behaviour, the beliefs of the doctors before, during and after the conference. We can identify trends in agreement over time or dissent for individuals and groups of interest. Now for patients, that might mean that your messaging, your communication has to change for different groups. We're not just a patient or medicine, we're real people with different lived experiences, with different needs and wants. And this is really exciting. You can generate statements of importance and analyze the predicted response. So if you have a new marketing message or a new communication message that you need to get out, you can test it across all the data in a safe, secure environment and analyze how that is likely to be responded to. It's a real world first. All of that put together is being recognised over in the United States. So this is Dr. Elizabeth Feely who I introduced you to earlier, and earlier this month, she's going back again to the States, she was awarded the 2023 Pharmaceutical Marketing 360 Trailblazer Award for her work in Artificial Intelligence Data Analytics Initiative, which is Drug-GPT. She's also been recognised as one of the top 100 elite people working in artificial intelligence and healthcare marketing by PM360. And PM360 are huge. They are kind of one of the agencies you want to be talking to. So this is Elizabeth with our customer service manager, Olivia, and an American comedian who shot over from Elizabeth's side to Olivia's side, which didn't please Olivia very much and certainly didn't please Elizabeth. But there they are, and they will certainly being recognised. But of course, behind that you need a winning team, and our winning team is really important to us. Here we are. This is a standard Glasgow Herald shot on the steps of the company door in Leiden Square. There's a lot of interest right now in a young man called Arnold Schwarzenegger who's just published a book, and he's been on Netflix recently. And if I might quote him, he said there's no such thing as a self-made man. Well, certainly there's no such thing as a self-made company or a self-made entrepreneur, and we rely deeply on a talented, exceptional bunch of people to work with us to produce results. So finally, let me leave you with a couple of thoughts. The future is undoubtedly healthcare. We have an ageing population. In the next 5 years, it's predicted that more than 20% of the population in the UK is going to be over 65. Those over 65s have a greater expectation of an active older life. The growth in GDP is fueling a demand for better, more efficient medical care and a better experience of health, and that is not going away anytime soon. The future is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is here, it's now. It gives us the power to unlock the unimaginable quantities of patient and healthcare professional voice to generate actionable intelligence, to be an incredible force for change and good. We believe that the future for artificial intelligence is this process of curating data, highly qualified data, highly specialized LLMs, and AI, importantly, AI plus AI with a human touch. And for health, we think that the future is Drug-GPT. So on that note, I shall thank you all for listening.